Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams, and you're listening to Wine,
Why Not? A queer podcast.
episode 156.
You started off with your sweaty balls voice. It made me laugh. I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm Rick Todd. You're like, and I'm Jeremy Williams.
I paused because as I was reading the title of our podcast, I was like, it is 10 o'clock in the morning because I have to go to work. So it is not Wine, Why Not? It is Coffee Not? Are you drinking coffee?
I've started drinking like English breakfast tea.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I
Fancy.
have in here. And because it's lighter than coffee.
Yeah.
But it's decaf, so I have my caffeine in this cup. Let me ask you a quick question. When you buy a mug and it's got something printed on it,
Sure.
you drink with your right hand, correct?
I do, yes.
So is like what's printed on the mug for my benefit or for your benefit?
I think it depends on the mug. For like mine, watching Winnie the Pooh eat honey is for my benefit. His ass is for your benefit.
There's no benefit for you in this mug. Unless I
It's
drink
just a
from
white
the side.
mug. What does it say? Easily distracted by pugs. Oh, yeah, see? That's the left-handed folks get one thing, and that's to let people read the mugs.
That's true. Otherwise,
for
I'm
them.
like this. I'm like, I'm going to have some. What was I
And then
doing?
Distracted by the pug, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see? There you go. I just think it's funny because Danny bought me this for my birthday, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll drink from it on the podcast. But, like, who can tell that it's anything interesting? Was it
Yeah, that's
interesting?
why all my mugs now must have something on both sides. Something for me and something for the fans.
Did we have this conversation already on this? I feel like because I think of this at the same time that I think of like who benefits from the tattoo, like who needs to see the tattoo in the way? Is it me or is it you? I don't know. Monday morning things I think about, right?
Some tattoos I've seen I think are just for your intimate partner. And some of the tattoos are for your most intimate of intimate partners, if you know what I mean. I've seen some weird tattoos in
Are
weird
you
places.
saying that intimate partner over and over again because I was going like this when I was looking at my tattoos?
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
think more
I
than
mean
your
more like
intimate.
For
those not watching,
you don't have
you
to
missed
explain.
his hands position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, are you a wordler? Do you wordle?
No, I wordled back in the day before like New York Times bought it, made it all pretentious and shit. No, I used to wordle, but I have a very short attention span when
So
it
you
comes
did-
to anything on my phone.
Either you sent your resume in and they didn't reply, or you have, or you're not applying to them, so you feel free.
Let's
to talk
just
about
say
it.
I could come up with better wordles. I don't know. I don't know many 5-letter words. I know a
Is
few
it-
4-letter words.
I've only missed one. I mean, I'm at 98%.
Oh,
I've
good
only
for
done
you.
like 45 of them, but I don't think I know a lot of. Oh gosh, Caitlin just turned her mic off, and like I don't hear the buzzing.
It
in
got
here.
quiet. I don't
did.
hear
It
the
got-
voices.
It got quiet. now I'm gonna bring out my sweaty balls voice. So anyway, here we are, episode 156 on a Monday morning, and I can tell from our pre-talk. Oh, don't get worried. We don't pre-plan. We just catch up a little bit because we haven't seen each other. We don't see each other except on this podcast.
Yeah,
and I can tell that we're just gonna be angry, bitter, yelling people.
we're just the two old guys from the Muppets
We are
yelling
just-
at the stage.
All we're going to do is tell you places you shouldn't live and companies you shouldn't use in the next 30 minutes. But before we do that,
let's
talk about, this is getting difficult. I don't know if it's just because
is.
the number's so high or it's just nothing's going on. Like,
yeah.
you know.
I found a couple. I'm gonna brace you for it. 2 of the 3 that I found are nerd stuff. So this is for the nerds. But the first one I think that you'll like, because I think you saw this movie and I think you like this movie. But it's the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah.
You know the scene in the cafeteria where after he gets his powers, he catches Mary Jane and then he catches all her lunch on the tray?
Yes.
Okay, they did that practically. That is not special effects. They dropped the stuff onto the tray for Tobey Maguire to catch, and it took him 156 takes to get that successful shot that they used. So that sounds like a long day.
Do you ever watch
set.
those things, like the videos that people do where they'll stand like in the front of their house and they'll throw a basketball over their house and it lands into the hoop on the other side of the backyard? I always wonder, like, what take was that? Like,
Yeah.
You know, was it 5,000? Because it didn't happen on the first time.
Yeah. The opposite side of that is in Batman Returns, the scene where Catwoman's in the department store and she uses the whip to hit the heads off of the mannequins. There's 3 mannequins. She whips the whip. They did that practically. Michelle Pfeiffer did that in the first take. They were preparing themselves for multiple take that she'd miss, knocked them off their head or off their necks first time out. So Michelle Pfeiffer, good. Tobey Maguire, work on it.
You know,
Took
I've never seen a Catwoman. The closest that I came to seeing Catwoman was a twink at Parliament House. And all I'm going to say about that is when I woke up the next morning, there's a Catwoman mask on my nightstand.
Oh. So you mean you've never seen a Catwoman in any Batman movie?
I've never seen I've not seen a Batman movie that had Catwoman in it. I don't believe so. Like,
interesting.
Because well, Michelle Pfeiffer was in Batman, or she was in
She was in Batman Returns. Yeah, she was in the second Tim Burton Batman movie.
See,
with Penguin.
I didn't even know he left. So how would I know he came back?
Well, you had Batman, and then the next
he
movie
went
didn't come out for
somewhere,
3 years,
and then he returned.
And then he's like, "Hey, he's returned for your summer viewing." I went and saw that for my birthday because it came out the week my birthday in June when I was 12, something like that. And went to theater, had a big old Batman birthday party. It was a good time. Anyway, that's a good segue.
I wish that you had told me that before, because then I wouldn't have said. It was in the first like 10, 20 episodes of this podcast that we did, and I said that Batman wasn't a real superhero. And it offended you, and now I know why. I apologize for saying that. He is a real superhero.
Well, also, like, I feel like people have like their specialties, and superheroes are not your specialty. So I don't take your opinion serious about that.
I was just thinking, like, I expected you to come back and say, that's okay, because Air Supply aren't real musicians.
Oh, I would never hurt real life people just to spite you. But my next 156 is a nice segue because it's Batman. Batman comic 156 came out in 1963. It is a well-known issue. It's the first of a 2-parter in which Robin dies. It's called Robin Dies at Dawn. Spoiler alert, Robin dies in it. But it isn't the most popular.
But weirdly, it's at 7 p.m.
It's not the most popular time during the Batman comics where Robin dies. The most popular one was in 1988, Batman issue 427, where DC Comics let readers vote whether Robin would die or not, because that iteration of Robin was not very popular. And they voted, yeah, kill him. So they had in the comics, Joker beat him to death with a crowbar and then blow him up.
Wow.
Yes. So way to
Comics
go,
are
Boy
angry.
Wonder. In the 80s, they were. In the 80s,
Well, it wasn't
they were.
everything.
That's true.
We're in Halloween costumes angry, don't they? You ever see like that picture of like that school, like that 1980s classroom where kids are wearing those like plastic onesie things with the plastic mask?
Yeah,
and
my
it
entire
looks like
childhood
a
was that.
murder. Yeah, it looks. I think it was Casper once with that.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I know there's one where my older brother was He-Man and I was Skeletor. Because we're only 11 months apart. Growing up, whatever we were into, he was always into the good guys, I was into the bad guys. So like G.I. Joe, I was into Cobra, Skeletor,
Explains your 30s.
the Decepticons. It was a good time. The only other 156 I have, other than we'll get to Caitlin's, is Rutger Park, which is a well-known basketball park on the border of Harlem and Washington Heights here in New York. Was founded in 1956 under the name PS 156 Playground, which is a long name for a kid's playground. So they changed it to Rutger Park, named after a guy who started basketball summer tournaments there, which became legendary if you're into basketball. It's a well-known contest they do every summer. And notable players who have played on those courts include Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Dr. J.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're ever at Rutgers Park, know that it used to be called PS 156 Playground. That's a long name to put on a T-shirt. I'm glad they changed it. And then my final one, of course, is always the Pokemon. Now, Caitlin can correct me if I'm wrong here.
She will.
Because as we get into the higher numbers, I feel like there's like multiple Pokemon to each number, because I'm finding conflicting information. But the common one I found for Pokemon 156 was Quilava, which is this hedgehog-looking thing that has fire instead of quills.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's ready to go. She's already got the picture.
A little fun fact about Quilava: before battle, he likes to turn his back on his opponent to demonstrate how ferociously it fire blazes. Now, I don't know what fire blazing is in the Pokemon world, but I know what fire blazing is in the queer world.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's the same thing.
I need you to tell me.
Not on film.
Is it a real thing, or are you making a joke?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure it's something.
I was like, fire blazing, I think is what I did this morning after I ate my spaghetti sauce last night. Oof.
Gross.
Had a little kick.
Anyway, that's
please.
all I have.
Jeremy
for
is saying my poop story is gross.
Mine was funny. Mine had a little child cheering. It had a holiday theme. It was around Christmas. It was delightful.
My PO says I'm not allowed to have children cheering my poops.
Ew. Moving on. You always got to bring it to this weird area.
It's what I do. I've heard that so many times in my life.
You bring it to a weird area?
Those are all, yeah.
Yeah, those are on my 156.
Well, I'm surprised you don't have this one, because this is the only one that I have other than the normals. 156 Silence. It's a metal band.
Oh, I am unfamiliar.
It's like the first thing that popped up when I Googled 156. All right, so here we start the things that make me angry this week. So I go in, and now I know what episode 155 of Friends was. Yeah. It's the one with the candy, right? So I get into this guy. I'm using names today. We're putting it all on blast. I asked ChatGPT, what's the 156th episode? And it gives me something from season 10. And I was like, that's not right. And they were like, yes, it is. And I said, last week you told me it was the one with the candy. And they were like, we were wrong last week. And I said, so you made me lie to an audience of people on my podcast about what this was. And they were like, sorry. Yeah, it's definitely not that. It's this. And I'm like, where are you getting your information from? Because when I go to this thing, it says it's this. And then it goes, oh, you're right. 155 was the one with the candy. Which makes it, I was like, would you make
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't check the episode, but I did Google real quick how many total episodes of Friends were there. 236, which means that 155 could not have been in season 10, because season 10 was
the
only
last
18. One. Yeah, and it's only 18 episodes.
Right. All right, so here we go. What is episode 1? I'm asking you.
I don't even know now. I'm
asking you for real, because I can't figure it out.
Was really Candy Lady, then I'm going to say,
if it helps you, you did guess this last week.
It's the one where no one can sleep.
No.
Ah, damn it. It will eventually be this one.
Will this help? Hello, Ben.
It's the holiday armadillo.
Yes, it's also the one oh, and here's another thing where one thing ChatGPT said this, it said that Phoebe's mad at Rachel because she wants to spend the holidays with her boyfriend Tag, but Rachel keeps him working. And I said, that is absolutely not true.
That is
Phoebe
not
never
an
dated
episode
Tag.
that ever
And then
happened.
and then it says, oh, you're right. It was Rachel that dated Tag. Like, are you kidding?
You know what?
Why do you
And
exist if you can't?
I hope no one from my current job, listens to this podcast, because your chats with ChatGPT sound like my conversations with these kids at work. Who, do you know? We had our spring staff meet, staff meeting to go over the new spring line.
How is it?
And we'll get into that. How my week
Okay.
was. But I mentioned this because today is Groundhog Day. So yesterday we were talking about Groundhog Day, and one of the girls pulled up whether he saw his shadow or not. It was like, it's not till tomorrow. You're not going to see a shadow. And she goes, it's something Phil is the name of the hedgehog. And I said, Paxitani Phil, because I've seen Groundhog's Day. And they all looked at me, and I was like, has no one seen the movie Groundhog's Day? Not a single one knew what that movie was.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Caitlin, have you seen it?
Caitlin has seen it.
Because it's a classic.
Half of them didn't even know who Bill Murray was.
Shut up. Do
I'm
they
not
have
even
even
lying.
heard of the movie Ghostbusters? How do you not know?
Some of them didn't. There are people there who are like 18, 19, 20 years old who work there. Had no idea what I was talking about. They had to Google, because we talked about Robert De Niro. And I said, what's your favorite Robert De Niro film? And they're like, I don't know who that is. They had to Google, and they're like, oh, that's the guy from the film that they gave was that stupid grandpa one that he's in. Ugly Grandpa or Stupid Grandpa or whatever that movie's called.
Fight with Grandpa. The Battle with Grandpa.
Yeah, it's something Grandpa.
The War Against Grandpa, something like that. The War with Grandpa.
No, it's just 2 words.
It's not Bad Grandpa. That's Johnny Knoxville.
It's something Grandpa, 2 words that he's in. That was the movie they all knew. Oscar winner Robert De Niro from.
The War with Grandpa.
I don't think that's the one they said. Anyway,
then they were wrong.
They don't know who Robert De Niro is.
That's crazy. Listen,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like saying like in our age, like we didn't know who Jimmy Stewart was. Like, come on, you know these people because they're classic actors. You got to know
Yeah.
the things.
You know what it is?
I need you to quit
because
your job, Jeremy.
their cartoons don't remember, like back in the day, Bugs Bunny and Animaniacs and Tiny Toons. They would reference old cinema. They don't have anything these days that reference old cinema. You know what it references? Fucking heads in toilet bowls and toy. Ballerina cappuccino.
What just made me sad is that
Dirty Grandpa is the name I was thinking of.
Oh, he's in a movie called Dirty Grandpa?
Yes. Robert De Niro and Zac Efron were in Dirty Grandpa in 2016. That is the movie they all knew.
That's that sounds like the different kind of movie.
Yeah.
How many grandpa movies is he in? Anyway, what made me sad about your statement there is to think that a movie like Analyze This is like an old classic.
Oh yeah, it's
You know what I
more
mean?
than
Like,
it's 25 years old.
We're just so old. I was sitting there thinking today because I don't know if you followed the news, but in a Texas Senate race, a Democrat won by like 14 points. And they were saying that a Democrat hasn't won there since 1978. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was like 50 years ago. And I'm like, oh, that was like as old as me. And then I felt really old.
Yeah.
Because, you hear, to me, I hear 78 and I think that's 20 years ago. No.
I feel you. It's rough getting old. As I was talking about all these things and all these young children were like, I don't know what you're talking about. This older lady walked in and in my head I was like, oh, I ain't that old.
Yeah, there's I think we have somebody on staff that wasn't born when I started working at Watermark.
Yeah.
I think that's I think and she does not know my references at all.
Yeah. The main one I was talking to about the films was born in 2006.
Wow.
Yeah. The year I got out of the military, he was born.
I was at Watermark for 4 years. Anyway, that's fun news.
It's happening. It's happening. We're all on our way. We're all dying. Speaking of which, Catherine O'Hara died. That's sad.
No, what was
Just
this?
the world
Did
is.
Did she get like pneumonia or something? Because she's in that show, The Studio. Like she's vibrant. She's
Yeah. Well, the last they were talking about on the news this morning. The last appearance that she had in public was at an award show. I think it was the Emmys. Was that the one in September that I think that she was at? And they had been commenting how she looked kind of run down, like very not like run down, but like she looked kind of sickly. And her agent released this morning that she passed away after a short battle with an illness. They didn't say what illness, but yeah. But I was devastated when I found that out.
Yeah. I mean, I know people older than that are like held together by duct tape. And I'm like, she seemed to be not that. I mean, come on, when did they make The Studio? It was a year ago? Like when they filmed it, that's like she's alive and vibrant, and it's just sad because she's great. She's just a great actress. Like everything that she's done, from Home Alone to Beetlejuice and
Schitt's Creek.
She's hilarious. And then all of the Christopher Guest shows, you know, You've Gotta Walk Binky, hilarious.
Yeah. It made me think, because I do this all the time. I think everybody does this. Like you watch people, particularly walking the red carpet at award shows, and they all look svelte and gorgeous, and they got these beautiful outfits on, and you know, you see them in the movies and they got these ripped abs, and you're like, oh, they've just got it perfect. That's what they want you to see for the cameras. You never know what's going on in their real life. They could be waking up and everything hurts, and they're popping pills because they got to get to the studio. The Studio.
Do you watch that?
Makes sense. I start because you made me get Apple TV to watch something. Oh, that TV show.
Pluribus.
So I started watching it, and I got 2 episodes in. I haven't finished it yet. It's funny. It's not your kind of funny.
I've watched the first episode, and I mean I enjoy it enough. But you're right. It's more of a Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of funny.
Yeah.
And it's not my kind of funny.
It was definitely, while I was watching, I was like, I think it's funny. I don't think this is Rick funny. Like, I don't think he'll enjoy this show. But the couple episodes I've seen has been pretty good so far.
Yeah. I'll keep watching. I have been watching The Beast in Me. Have you seen that?
No.
Netflix.
What is this?
It's the one that got nominated for Golden Globes. It's got Claire Danes and
oh yes, I saw the commercial for
it. The guy that was in Brothers and Sisters. Yeah, the commercial looked creepy enough to make us want to watch it, and it's pretty good. And I haven't figured it out yet, which is surprising. Because I watch so many crime dramas that usually at the beginning of the show, I'm like, it's this person, and then it turns out to be that person.
Yeah. I will say I am going to give the rest of Pluribus another shot, because I only watched the first 2 episodes. Because I met Chris's boyfriend, and Chris's boyfriend is like, oh my God, it's such a wonderful show. He has a British accent, and I am like, I could listen to this guy talk all day. And he's like, you got to give it till the 4th episode, and it really takes off. And I was like, well, anybody who asks me anything in that accent, I guess I'll watch the show.
That's not a really resounding, like, I don't know, like endorsement of a show that has 5 episodes. I'm just kidding. It's not 5, but it's like,
no, it's like
if you can make it to 60% of it, it starts to get really good.
Wait a minute. Last week you told me give it to the 3rd episode.
That's less than half. It's really good. I liked it. I mean, I'm interested to see. It's like the last 10 seconds that makes me like, and I think like I like this girl. I like her character because she's just sort of like, she's like, she wants to be a good person, but also she can be selfish. I think it's just like most of us, you know. She tries to be good. She tries to fight the good fight, but she's angry and selfish, and you know, just because keep in mind as you're watching this, her wife died like 24 hours ago, you know, and it's like a week later. Anyway, I find it fascinating. So that's
hold on really quick. Okay, I just got this, and I'm just so I want to flip a table. So we'll get into when we get into our, because I know you have more 156, but I just got a text message from my super that says, We will come today to fix the leak upstairs and repair your roof. Don't worry. Have faith. We will fix it. Have faith? How about you give me my rent money back and you have faith you'll have dinner on your table next week? Anyway, we'll get to what happened later.
Sounds like you need Jesus. Have faith. All right, so I just want to read this to you because this is completely absurd too. This is the explanation that ChatGPT gave me of the one with the holiday armadillo. Phoebe presents Joey with various gifts: a spider that scares Joey more than Rachel, and a drum kit that annoys Monica. I mean, that's kind of true. That's
the least interesting parts of that episode.
Oh, that's the end of it. It says that Ross wants to introduce his half Jewish son to Hanukkah, but the latter loves Christmas. So
He
unable
sure
to get a
does.
Santa costume, Ross dresses up as a holiday armadillo and tries to get Ben excited about the festivities of Hanukkah. It doesn't say anything about Chandler dressing up as Santa and ruining
And that's
it
my
all.
favorite part. When he goes to shake his hand and he drops the money and he goes, it would have worked if his hands weren't so damn small. Love it.
All right, here we go.
times.
I don't
All right.
think you're going to get this. So we're going to start with this one. This is the 156th greatest movie ever made. The director, Antonioni, who I say it like that because that's how it's sung in the song La Vie Bohème from the musical Rent. He had movies at 117 and 120, if you remember. And this movie, it depicts the emptiness and meaningless of life in the second post-World War under the shadow of the nuclear threat.
What were films 117 and 120? Remind me.
Oh, jeez. You want me to look
You
them
didn't
up?
write them down? How are you going to throw a tidbit like that out and not write them down?
They were French. Oh, I'll find it. Don't you worry.
French. Okay, I'm going to say, is this that movie with that famous scene where Death plays chess with somebody? That just sounds like this would be one up his alley.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, so 117 was La Ventura and 120 was The Passenger. And this one is L'Éclise. I don't know.
Oh.
There we go. 1962 movie. I'm sure everyone is super excited about that. Now, this one, I don't recognize this name.
Okay.
But I recognize every movie. So let's see if you can get the director. 156th greatest director of all time. Directed such movies as Strictly Ballroom, which I adore that
Baz
movie.
Luhrmann.
Ah, man.
Oh, man.
I didn't even get to the good ones.
Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge. How do you not know Baz Luhrmann?
And the Great Gatsby. Listen, I don't watch the credits. I don't care if there's a bonus scene at the end of it. I don't know.
Bonus scene. He didn't make the special features on the DVD. He made the whole movie.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Look,
you know,
you got me
these...
so angry. I'm doing your hand gesture.
The comic book thing where they do a extra scene at the end of the credits so that you'll watch the credits. Yeah, I don't do anything.
Oh no, I don't think he has any of those.
I don't watch. No, I'm not saying
Moulin
he does.
Rouge is like one of my a top 5 movie for
it's
me.
great.
I love that movie.
Too bad that they effed it up with the musical.
Yeah, Broadway sucks. Anyway,
You shut your whore mouth. Keep my Broadway out your motherfucking mouth. All right. So that's what I have. Yeah, that's
All
the
right.
exciting 156. Look at us, and it only took us 30 minutes to get through it.
Nice. Well, I'm sure our ranting will speed walk us right through how our weeks went.
I know, and then we're gonna cover an entire season of a show. So
Well,
good luck,
we won't
everybody.
Do the whole, I don't want to
Buckle
give
in.
spoiler alerts. It's only been out for 2 years.
Yeah, buckle in. We're in for a ride.
All right. So real quick, the week started with the snowstorm came in.
Oh yeah.
And my family was trying to get home. So here is because my brother and his girlfriend came in. My younger
We've
brother.
all been waiting with bated breath to
Yes.
see if your family makes it home.
My mom and my older brother came in, and then my sister and her husband came in. So brother and his girlfriend lived there in Orlando. That's who I lived with when I was down there. My brother, not his girlfriend. They moved their flight from Sunday afternoon to early Sunday morning Made it home, no issues.
Ah,
Perfectly fine. Got home, sent us a photo, smooth sailing.
70-degree weather, enjoying
yes,
life.
Beautiful. My mom and older brother got stuck at JFK all day on Monday, and their flight kept getting postponed. And I think they ended up leaving like at 12 o'clock at night or something. So they were all day.
They're now starring in the movie Terminal 2.
Yes. The worst of it, that my sister and my brother-in-law got the worst of it. So they flew out of Newark. So they got over to Jersey.
Right there, they got the worst of it.
Their flight was going to be great. It got canceled. It got postponed, and then got canceled. So they had to stay the night in Newark. And then the next day, because they live in North Dakota, so they were flying to Minneapolis and then flying into Bismarck. Their flight got sent to somewhere in North Dakota or North Carolina. I think Raleigh is where they landed. So they had to stay there a little bit. After a couple hours, flew into Minneapolis. Their flight to Bismarck, all the flights to Bismarck got canceled that night. So then they had to stay the night in Minneapolis and get home the next day. They were trapped in airports around the country for 3 days before they got home. But everybody finally made it home.
3 or 4 days?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did they live in the airport during this time?
No. They would go. They stayed at hotels near the airport.
Were they? Did they have to pay for the hotels themselves, or were they gifted?
I didn't go into great detail about their finances, but I'm guessing they were gifted because I wouldn't pay.
I think there might be some act of God clause.
But
if it's a mechanical issue with the plane, they have to put you up. But if it's an act of God, you're on your own.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask that question. I'm not a reporter anymore. So
ask your super.
I don't ask follow-up questions.
Ask your super if he because he's the one who tells you to have faith, so he would know if he knows of God's.
He's read not just the Bible and the Quran. He's read every religious text.
You know what?
He said, "Pray over the falling roof; you'll be fine."
I am so the opposite on this podcast that I am in real life, and that I ask questions, like follow-up questions. I don't ask a damn question to anybody at any time. Jen always does, and because when you said I don't ask follow-up questions, that is how I live my life.
Yeah,
but for some reason on here I ask them. I don't know why that is. Jen's like, it's normal for people to ask. I could say, oh, my brother went to the store. And she goes, oh, what did he have for breakfast? Like, why is that a question?
Yeah.
It's not really that extreme.
But in Jen's defense, if you said my brother went to the store and she would say, what did he go to the store for? And you'd be like, I didn't ask Jen. He just went to the store. Anyway, everybody made it home. Fine. Beautiful. After that vacation, Chris is away for a week on vacation. He's on a cruise right now, so lucky him, because he doesn't have to deal with the shit happening here. So, when did this happen? What I don't even know what day it is anymore.
Today is Monday.
I think it was Saturday is when this happened. So I get up Saturday morning, and I go into my kitchen to make some coffee, and I see water all over the floor. And I'm like, where did this water come from? So I look up at the ceiling, and hanging from the ceiling are sacks of paint filled with. They look like saggy old lady boobies. They were just two saggy tits hanging from my ceiling, dripping water out what would have been the nipples onto my floor. So I was like, what in the fuck is happening here?
Those are so scary. Not just because they look like, saggy old lady boobies, but like you don't know at any second they could just
pop.
Go and like all over you and all over your shit. Yeah.
So I grab a bucket.
That's some
and
good
I put
latex
it under,
paint.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's asbestos holding everything together in this place. So I throw a bucket underneath because it's dripping out the nipples. I mop up the water.
Me too, ceiling. Me too.
I take photos and I send it to, we have a maintenance line, and I have my super's cell phone number. So I send it to both of them, and I'm like, we need to come fix this. So the first message I get from my super, like 20 minutes later, I don't normally work on Saturdays, but I'll try to come out today. And I was like, what the fuck did he say? I was like, no, you will come out now. There's water dripping from a pair of tits from my ceiling. So I don't know if it was like a friend or his son or somebody, because I don't think he's not an in-building super. So I don't think he lives like near here. So he has him come by and he's like, I'm here to look at the tits on your ceiling. I was like, come on in. $25. I was selling tickets. You can see the tits in my ceiling. So he goes in there and he goes, oh my God. I was like, yeah. So he takes photos. He sends it to, we'll just say his dad. I'll assume it's his son. Sends it to his dad. And like within 20 minutes, his dad was here. So they get the bucket. They get up there. They poke the titties. They pop. Water comes down into the bucket. And he goes, we'll go upstairs. It's obviously something leaking from upstairs. And we'll get that fixed. They go upstairs. They knock on the door. The neighbors open the door. I guess they had the chain because he said they opened the door. He doesn't speak any English. So we're talking through a Google Translate.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So they opened the door a little bit. So I'm assuming they just had it chained. He said, we think your radiator's leaking and it's leaking to the apartment downstairs. And they said, today's not a good time. Can you come back? And then close the door on him. And he came down and he goes, they said not a good time. And I said, I don't really give a fuck if it's a good time for them or not. And he goes, just put a bucket. He goes, it's fine. It's fine. I was like, it's fine. So when they left, it was just like when they popped it, the loose hanging paint. Now, the literal boards are like separating and they're sagging. It's been dripping brown water for 2 days. So I left very angry voicemails for the building owners. I told them I was calling the city. I called them slumlords, which they are. This place is falling apart. I pay too much money to have tits hanging from my ceiling. I may have said that in my voicemail.
Some people may say you don't pay enough to have tits hanging from your ceiling.
True. I'm not a tit guy.
Yeah, that's true.
So I finally left a message because I sent the follow-up. I've just been sending photos. I was like, here's what it looks like now. I said, by Monday, we won't have to worry about them opening their front door to let you in because I will be able to climb into their apartment through the fucking hole in the ceiling because it's falling down. So this morning, I get a text message from the super. That's the one I read. Have faith. All right, I'm gonna put some rosary beads in the bucket, and hopefully it turns it into wine. That's how that works.
Because you've been on the podcast, you haven't had a chance to do it. But when we're done recording, get your rosary beads, sit over there, and have some faith, and watch as the boards dry up and go, and then the paint finds its way back up.
You know what?
That's how it works.
If that happened, going to church on Sunday, my mom would be so proud.
If that happens, Jeremy, if that happens, I will no longer do this podcast with you. I won't ever talk to you. I will just sit in my closet and cry.
So that's what I've been dealing with. Like, I feel like that's been my whole week. It's only been 2 days, but I feel like that has been the focus, and that's all I can think about. The only thing that happened that was kind of a good thing is last week, remember I told you Macy's was having issue with the paperwork, so I technically wasn't hired. I was fired for 4 days. Let go. They won't say fired because I was seasonal. I was let go for 4 days. They finally got that all worked out. I now have a permanent position. And I'm unionized. I have a union because everything is unionized in New York.
Is it Teamsters?
I don't think so.
Oh,
they came around. They're voting right now for the new union reps. So we've had 2 groups come over.
Did you throw your
in the last week?
Did you throw your hat in the ring?
No, because as a seasonal employee, I'm not allowed to run. Now, as a permanent employee, I can now run, but it's past the cutoff point for me to submit. So I will just be a regular union worker, and then next time I am running, and I'm gonna make some changes around here. Free housing for everyone at Macy's. But the cool thing is they announced their spring collection because Uggs is trying to go seasonless, and we're getting a new set of freebies. So I'm getting new shoes, I'm getting new apparel. They have Ugg shorts and t-shirts and vests, so when the summer hits, I won't have to wear anything fur-lined. So it's super exciting. They got a lot of cool stuff coming out, and I'm going to get a bunch of shit for free, which is always cool. So,
oh, that's nice. What are you going with this time? Are you getting like this? Because you regretted not getting the boots.
Yes.
So next winter, you're getting the boots, I assume.
Next summer, I am getting boots. However, because we had 13 inches of snow that fell in the city, and we've got probably another 2 or 3 inches coming this weekend, I did use my discount at the UGG store to go buy boots. However, it is slim pickings for snow boots in New York City right now. So here is I hated them when I first got them, but I kind of dig them now. Remember, well,
I really hope that they're like, what are those things called that I wear? Crocs boots that they have holes in them.
No. They are the standard UGG boot, but it is a waterproof. They call it blue reflective. But it looks like the old moon boots I used to wear when I was a kid in Colorado.
Oh.
You see those?
Yeah.
So it's like a little moon boot. Mine, when I was a kid, had a Transformers logo right on the side.
Well, you could still do that.
I could stitch them on. So those are my snowshoes, my snow boots. Obviously, the spring collection doesn't have snow boots, but they have new sneakers, and I'm obsessed with the UGG sneakers. They're so comfortable. So I've got those coming. And then I'm getting it's a reversible vest. Sweet. It's like $200. I don't have to pay for it. So that's fantastic. We were going through the list of what the freebies
reversible
are.
vest. That's like 2 outfits in one.
Right? That's what I said.
Winning.
But I was like, I'm going to get the most expensive stuff because they're free. And then like the stuff that I like, the shorts are cheap. So not cheap. They're nice, but they're less expensive than like the vest.
Hey, what's their return policy? Like, does it matter? Like, if you take it
30 days if you don't wear it.
But you have to have the receipt.
You have to have the receipt if you want to get your money back.
Oh, okay.
If you want
so
to
you can't take this $200 vest and go to a different branch and be like, I changed my mind, and then get $200 for it.
No, because they don't give me a receipt for this.
Yeah.
It's free.
And
but,
you have to wear UGG stuff to work, right?
Yeah, yes. And it has to be current season. That's why they give us free stuff each season, because it has to be current season stuff. But the nice thing is the Taz, like those Taz suits I have, like 3 of them, those are year round. So I can wear those. And then the shorts are just the Taz version, and they have sweatshirts. I'm super excited. I'm gonna look like the young kids there. I'm gonna look that Steve Buscemi. I'm like, hello, fellow children. Let's sell some Uggs today.
Okay, the first episode of The Studio with Steve Buscemi in it. I mean, he looked like the Crypt Keeper.
Oh yes,
he did not look good.
I love Steve Buscemi, but that man has not aged well.
No. In fact, I was surprised, and they had to say his name, or I wouldn't have recognized him.
He is not using moisturizer.
I mean, I want to watch this movie, Jonestown. I'd watch that. Kool-Aid, Jonestown version. Yeah.
I love like miniseries about shit that happened like in the 70s and 80s. I eat that shit up. I love it. But yeah, so that was my week. Shorter than last week. I feel like I rambled on for 45 minutes. Don't think I didn't notice you and Caitlin giving each other side eye like he's still going.
No, we were passing notes.
Yeah,
he's still talking. No, that's exactly what it said. I said this. I said, is she still talking?
Yeah, I told you it was a busy week. This one,
listen,
not so much.
Listen, this is what I understand. You're drinking a bottle of wine when we're talking, like most of the time.
Most times.
So
or a
like,
6-pack of Smirnoff Ice.
You get like 2 glasses of wine into it, and you're chatty. That's just how it goes. So there's no love lost there. I don't begrudge
wine
you
today.
That.
So
no wine today.
We're
zipping through. Now I feel like. I'm high on caffeine, so I'm going to be like, All right, so here we go. Here's my week, real quick. I just want to give a shout out. Caitlin had a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So happy belated to Caitlin. She left
I don't have
20s
Facebook.
behind.
I don't have Facebook anymore. Well, I do, but I don't go on it, so I don't know anybody's birthday anymore. My apologies, Caitlin.
I'm terrible about birthday. On my birthday, I check constantly to see who says happy birthday, but I forget about saying happy birthday to anybody else. Because I want to see if I can break 200. I got like 190 something.
I feel bad now because I don't think I did.
No, that's okay.
Did I? I don't remember.
And what I usually do is I usually go through and thank every person. Like I go in and say thank you. I don't just like the things. I make a comment. But this year I didn't do that, so I apologize to all of those on Facebook that said happy birthday. Thank you, and happy birthday to Caitlin. I was very excited to see this show. Went to the theater to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It was on tour.
How was it?
It was on tour, and it was a show. So here's the deal. Have you read this? Do you know anything about this story?
Yes, I actually had the book. When the show first came out, they put a book out of the script, and I read that because I was a Harry Potter nerd.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
how does it
children.
end? What's the thing that how does it end?
Well, I don't remember how it ends.
Okay.
All I remember, it had to do with their kids.
Yeah. So it's Harry Potter's kid, Albus Severus. Is that his name? Severus.
Albus
Severus Potter.
Potter.
And then
can I just say, your wife is Ron's sister.
Yes.
You didn't think to add in maybe names that meant something to her? Maybe her dead brother's name? And not these two wizards who used you your entire life for their bidding? You're a douchebag, Harry Potter. Anyway, how was the show?
Well, Jeremy, I mean, as the song says, it's a man's world.
Apparently that applies to the wizarding world, too.
I guess so. Well, I mean, it is written by J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. You know why she chose J.K. and not her name? Because,
she's
and this
just
is
kidding.
Because she thought that if people thought a woman wrote that book, people wouldn't buy it. So she used her initials because they would think a man wrote it.
And
True
then
story.
She let misogyny win so that people would further think a man wrote it. Okay, anything gay about it in the script you read?
I don't recall any gay. No.
No gay. Okay.
No.
So this threw me for a loop. First of all, it's a terrible show. It's not like the script is bad, but the version I saw, like, I'm going to see it in New York because I want to see if it was overacting that killed it or not. It just seemed very weird. And the magic, okay, it's an old show. It's been around for a while. The magic wasn't magical like it was in Stranger Things. Stranger Things was spectacular. And that, like, when that Demigorgon, is that what it was called? Or that spider monster thing, the smoke, when it came out of the stage out of nowhere, like, that was really cool.
I mean, it was so intense that somebody in the theater screamed bloody murder.
Jesus, right? So it was crazy. This was sort of like, it was weird, and like they're like,
was it like Harry Potter is like, he waved his wand and then he's like, oh, my thumb comes off. And he does a little thumb trick.
Legit, here's what it is. Are you ready for this? You know that Facebook ad where people have those wands and you can press a thing and it throws little fireballs out?
Oh,
like, yeah, that's what it is.
Right.
They do that a lot. Now, at the end of it, there was this big battle, and there were like huge fireballs shooting across the stage, which, okay, that was kind of cool. But the like, they eat that candy that makes smoke come out of your ears or whatever. But we were so far on the side that we saw a side view of everything, and we're like, oh, there's the smoke pipe coming out of his neck. So we could see a lot of it. And there was like a cool little battle where they were like, Levioso, and then like somebody be floating in the air, but you could see like the black
it's
gloves of the
Leviosa.
person. I know, I did it for you. And they would like pick them up and turn them around, and you could just see a lot of it. So it wasn't like the magic was like was fun-ish. It was just weird. It was overacted, and very much like adults playing like obnoxious little children, like I can't live up to my father's reputation and I hate everything. So anyway, it's just really obnoxious. But here's like the storyline that confused me. There's this whole thing, like, Harry Potter is like, I met my best friends on the train to Hogwarts the first time, and that's where you're going to meet your best friend, and blah, blah, blah. So Harry Potter, who wants to be nothing like his father, I guess, because he hates him, because he can't live up to his name. So he goes into the car, and boom, there is Draco Malfoy's son, who is very shy, thinks everyone hates him because there is a rumor that he's actually Voldemort's son.
Scandalous.
So no one wants to talk to him, which means Harry Potter's like, we're going to be friends. But you can tell there's something really clingy about Malfoy's kid. to Harry Potter's kid. And they're like, they have this bond, right? So then all this stuff happens and they get this.
Would you call it a heated rivalry?
I looked this up because I'm like,
Yeah.
how is this not like something people are talking about? So I guess they didn't do this in the Broadway production, but for some reason on the tour, they decided to do this thing. So there's this scene, right, where Harry Potter's like lost, right? They're traveling in time, not Harry Potter, Albus Potter. They're traveling in time and they change something. So Albus doesn't exist anymore. And Malfoy goes back in time and talks to Professor Snape to try to change time again so that he can come back. But a Death Eater starts sucking the soul out of Malfoy. So Snape says, think about who do you care about most in this world? Think about something that ties you to this world. And he's like, I'm doing this for Albus Potter. Like, there's this obvious, like, I don't think he says I love him, but it's everything's there. Like this is, I'm doing everything in my life for Albus, and I need him in my life, and I want him in my life. It's a very intense feelings towards Albus, right? So then all is right with the world, however it all comes together. And at the very end, Albus Potter tells Harry Potter that this Malfoy kid is the most important person in my life and will be the most important person in my life, possibly forever. And then Harry Potter says, I'm okay with that, son. I really like him.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is gay, right?
And then Harry turned and looked at Jenny and said, gay?
Yeah. He gets that from your side. That's the Weasley in him. So anyway, I'm like, that seemed very gay. But anyway, I want to go see it because I want to see how that is. Now there's
the one on Broadway here. The actor who played Draco Malfoy is in the Broadway show.
Right, he plays himself.
Yeah, plays the grown-up Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, which is probably pretty cool. And he probably doesn't the parents didn't overreact. The kids just did. So there's this scene at the end where Rose, who is a Ron Weasley and Hermione kid, like the Malfoy boy wants her to be friends with him so bad through the whole show, and she doesn't want anything to do with him. But at the end of it, he asked her to be his friend, and he's telling Harry, he's like, oh, I heard you asked her to be your friend. He's like, I did, and she said maybe, and isn't that cool? And then she walks over to the stairs where they're sitting, having their really gay moment, and instead of saying, this won't be weird unless you make it weird, she goes, this won't be weird unless you make it weird. Which indicates, like,
interesting.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think
it's cool that you two dudes are gay. Just don't flaunt it in my face.
So very weird. Not the best show. I'm only gonna go see it in New York to see if it's as bad as I thought it was here. I just and I really feel disappointed because I wanted to see it so bad because I've recently watched all of them and wanted it to be really good. And the story's not bad. I just think maybe it was the actors, except for the Malfoy kid. I mean, maybe I like the underdog, and he was just a really like timid, shy, nobody liked him kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And the actor who played him is probably really cute, so that helps.
All right. Nice.
But anyway, I just want to say I did this thing. I worked most of the week, right, trying to get this database thing ready.
Still working on that?
Yeah, I mean, well, Thursday was the day. Thursday was like the first invoicing day and launching it and going out. So I worked really long hours. Like I was here, like I worked until like 11 or 12 Tuesday night, just kind of getting everything in order. Because Wednesday I knew I was going to Harry Potter and wouldn't have the time. And then we get ready at the big Thursday and I send out all the invoices. So if you're an advertiser with Watermark Out News and you received an invoice from me on Thursday that at the bottom of it said, if you don't pay this invoice by Thursday, you will get a 1.5% finance charge. My bad. I deleted it. It's not there anymore. I feel really stupid about that. I worked so hard to make sure everything was right. And then I sent that out. I thought it said something like, if you don't pay in 120 days. I didn't really read it. No, it was like, but we had an advertiser over the weekend that's like, I just got this. What do you mean I have to pay 1.5%? I'm like, no, not you. All good. But Friday, I went to Disney to
very nice.
the Festival of the Arts.
Oh, how was it?
It's fine. It's fine. It's great. They have this beef Wellington inspired like croissant thing that is delicious. So yeah, find that, get it, great. But other than that, it's how many paintings of Disney characters do I need to look at? Now, the first time I ever went to Festival of the Arts, they had all kinds of booth setups, all different kinds of art, and it was really kind of cool. And now it's just like all of those are being phased out. There was like one place that had like this quirky artist, but even they had to use Disney characters in their quirky art kind of a thing, which was kind of cool. But it's just like, come on, man, these printed canvases of the same things at every different booth is it's losing its touch. But I will say that the show, Caitlin would never know this because she never goes to the shows, but the original Tarzan, Josh Strickland.
Yeah.
Hot, right?
Yeah. I don't like to brag, but Josh Strickland and I are friends on TikTok.
Oh, well, there you go.
I interviewed him once.
Josh Strickland and I have something in common, and then we put on some pounds.
Aw.
It's
unfollow.
Because they show him as Tarzan, and he is ripped and hot.
Oh yeah,
but
that was also 20 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I was skinny 20 years ago too. I feel your pain.
Me too.
Now I have leaky tits. No, I'm just kidding.
Too.
Anastasia McCluskey, who was also in Tarzan. I don't know if she was in the original cast, but she was also in it. They did the Disney on Broadway show that they do. Now, listen, every time I go to one of these shows, I sit there in my chair with my fingers crossed, and I say, sing something from Aida, sing something from Aida. And I'm not talking about the Amara songs. I want some Aida songs, like, Heather Headley songs that are incredible. Well, this girl busts out with The Gods Love Nubia, and it was incredible. So it made the whole trip worth it. And he's stunning,
Mm-hmm. He's got a great voice.
There was this really weird moment, though, I want to say. They walked out on stage, and they sing the song from Greatest Showman. They sing, "This is the Greatest Show." And at the end of it, he goes, "Hey, can anybody guess what show, what we're gonna do next?" And everybody's like, "Huh?" It was weird because you just sang from The Greatest Showman, so it can't be The Greatest Showman.
Was it Greatest Showman?
It was The Greatest Showman. We're like, well, what a weird moment. Everyone was very weird. But the people behind me, this guy must have been gay. He was enamored. He spent 30 minutes before the show started telling the people next to him who from out of town how great Josh Strickland was. And then every time he'd sing, he'd look over and go, "Didn't I tell you? What a magical voice." Then every time a song of his was over, this kid and his mom would stand up and clap. Didn't give a standing ovation for anyone else. Just Josh Strickland. I was like, that kid is gay. I don't know if his mom knows that, but he's gay. Then Saturday night, I just give a shout out to the event, which was a fundraiser for Crew Health. We went to that. I don't know if any of these names will mean anything to you, but here is some of the entertainment that was there. Bosco, does that mean anything to you?
No.
I think this
Bosco was George from Seinfeld. George's ATM password. That means something to me.
Athena Dion, Mikey Meeks.
I think that's what John Travolta called Idina Menzel at the Oscars.
Mikey Meeks.
She's currently on RuPaul's Drag Race, right?
Yeah, I think so. So there's like some RuPaul's people. Axel Andrews performed, and I always love Axel Andrews and Ivy Les Vixen. Anyways, a huge fundraiser. It looked incredible. You ever watch like Miami or CSI Miami or like FBI or any of these kind of shows?
I've seen it,
and there's like a nightclub scene going on, and then somebody gets murdered. Yeah, this looked like that. It looked great. I mean, it looked like nobody
the
murdered.
Nightclub part or the murder? I was going to say the murder part.
No one got murdered, but I just remember walking in there and standing up in the VIP area and thinking, like, this is they've done a really good job of making this look like a great event. So kudos to them. I hope they raised a lot of money. So I'm going to tell you two more quick things. Roles reversed. This episode, I'm talking a lot. I know.
That's okay. I keep looking up at Caitlin's camera and her eyes meet.
So. The contractor, right? So he's really working there's still no movement on this. The permits got submitted like at Thanksgiving or like before Thanksgiving, and there's still all this back and forth. But here's what we find out. It finally comes down to this. We've learned everything, because they were trying to say like we had to add an additional parking space that wasn't on the street. But then they finally said, no, you don't have to add the additional parking space. But if we take the whole garage, then we lose 4 feet of what they consider our existing driveway. So what that means is, even though it's a garage, it's because it's a garage, you can park a car in a garage. If we make a room, you can no longer park your car in that garage, and 4 feet of that plan has to be parking space. So the project can't go forward unless one of 3 things happens. Here are my 3 options. Option 1, lose 4 feet of the new room, or 4.5 feet. Option 2 is to move the driveway to the other side of the house.
Oh, geez.
Which means then that you have to walk across the yard to get inside. Well, I mean, we could create a pathway and make that happen, but I don't know that we could even do that, because they may not be aware that we have a gas tank in the ground right there, and I don't think you can put a thing on top of a gas tank. Anyway, so, and then the other one is to get a variance, which is to ask for a variance, and that process can take a whopping 2.5 months.
Oh, geez.
But the supervisor in charge of the variances could say, after a quick meeting, he could say, hey, you just fill out this application, I'll approve it. So if I know anyone at the city, if anyone at the city is listening to this, go find that guy in charge of the variances and put in a good word for me. Because I guess what we're going to do is we've come to terms with it. Like, at first I was like, no, we're not losing 4.5 feet. But then we decided, I mean, the real thing I want here is an extra bathroom. So even if the bedroom's 4.5 feet smaller, whatever, we'll figure it out. I said, did you see? Oh, you can't see this. There's somebody lurking at my door. It makes me nervous every time. Oh. So anyway, that's that. But here's the bane of my existence. And I got a text message right before this podcast that made me as irritated as your text message that you got. So, we've been battling this rat issue, this ongoing rat issue. And so I decided to call, and I'm gonna tell the company this time, because I told the guy, if you can't, I was like, if what I think is gonna happen happens, I'm done. We're not having any more conversations. I'm going to just 1-star rate you, blast it out all over social media that you guys are terrible. So because they sent a guy out on Friday. Out of nowhere, I get a call from this guy, and I'm not going to complain about this guy's age. I'm going to just say to you exactly what he said to me. So this guy comes out, and he's like, I'm here to do your annual exclusion
Wait a minute.
Test.
Did he say, I'm here? Did he say, sir, I'm here?
Well,
I don't know who Robert De Niro is.
First of all, he calls me, and he's like, hey, my I'm supposed to be out there at this time. It's going to be more like 12:30. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? And he's like, oh, well, I called somebody and left a message. And I'm like, news to me.
Do you have a name?
I was like, I'll be there. I'll be there at 12:30. Fine. So I get there at 12:30. And then this guy's like, I give him an earful, right? Because I'm like, listen, man, this is an ongoing problem. You've got to stop this. Your team said they were going to fix this. I caught 8 rats in a month. This is ridiculous. Like, what are you going to do to fix this? And he goes, I'm here to check the outside. And so, and then he goes out and he checks around outside, and he comes in and he's like, maybe it's the vents on the roof, but I can't get up there. And then he says this. I've asked them to stop scheduling these for me because I've got cataracts and I should probably have them removed because I really can't see anything and I can't get on the roof or in the attic.
Okay, so he's older. I'm thinking when you said it's not an age thing, I'm thinking they sent a kid out. They sent his grandfather.
No, I was like, I'm not going to be ageist and say that this old guy came out who couldn't do anything.
Okay.
He's the one who said that to me. And I was like, that's it. I wasn't going to do this, but now I'm going to do it. I called the main line. I said, listen, I got two things I'm going to complain about. First of all, you sent out Father Time. And I'm not the one complaining about his age. He's the one complaining about his age. And then so like at the end of the call, the guy's like, so just to recap, you weren't happy with the guy, or the guy wasn't able to do the job that they sent out. I was like, I will tell you his words again. His words. I can't do this job. So anyway, and then I go through the whole explanation.
Did you just get an old man fired?
Or cataract surgery. I could have done him a favor.
Free surgery.
I got him cataract surgery. So he'll be out in like 6 months and be like, oh, like I could jump up here now. I can see. Anyway, so then I tell the guy the whole story. I tell him, you said you would take care of this. And he's like, well, let me see if I can get a hold of them and we'll get somebody out there. I said, no. I want no one to come out here. Here's what I want right now. I want you to tell me, A, we cannot deliver the job that we told you we would deliver, or B, here is the plan that we're going to do to get this fixed for you. Those are your two options. And he was like, well, let me get them on the phone. So he says that he's like, I'm going to escalate this to the manager at the branch and blah, 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 this whole thing. So I finally said, listen, man, I've heard this story 3 times. You're the 4th. So here's what actually is going to happen. You're going to send that to there. No one's going to call me. They're going to show up at my house to bait traps, and my head's going to explode. And when my head explodes, I'm going to put this company on blast. I'm done with you. We spent $1,800 to make this happen, and you're just doing the same shit over and over again. It's making me crazy. So then he's like, okay, well, he's like, I put in there that should call you, that you don't want somebody to come out, blah, 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 blah. Right before this podcast started, Jen forwards me a screenshot of her phone. Your Terminex service person is on their way. And guess what? They're there right now. And I'm recording this podcast, and all I want to do is go home and scream at these people. And poor Dylan is there, and he's like, I really wish you were here, because he's not going to yell at them.
Yeah. First off, fastest cataract surgery I've ever heard of. Secondly, does Dylan only yell at people in theaters? Don't put his big pants and get out there.
I know. I should tell him, pretend
she's behind you talking your ear off while you're trying to watch a show.
Just over and over again. Oh, that was so great. Oh, what a great experience for me.
Oh my God, let it go. These rats are all over the place.
Listen, from the time that guy was there on Friday until so Dylan and I spent 2 hours up in that attic yesterday in the freezing cold, because it did get into the 20s here.
I heard you all had I saw somebody posted a picture of the Universal Studios globe, and there were like fucking icicles hanging from that thing.
Yeah, it was cold. But we got up there and we really took a scope and tried to figure out some things, and we did end up finding two pipes that aren't enclosed, and that may be an entry and exit point. But we also did a lot of research too, and there's like a powder you can throw with a black light to find out where they're coming in and out, like where their activity is. So that's the next step. We're just taking this on ourselves, because honestly, Terminex, you failed. I'm done. I even told the guy that showed up on Friday, I was like, I'm like, I haven't called since December because you can't do the job anymore. Like, I know you've already told me you can't. So, but anyway, we caught 3 from Friday to Sunday.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, it's crazy. That was my week.
That sucks.
I can't wait to update you on the rat situation next week.
Who knew that me moving to New York and you would see more rats than I do?
I know when I lived in New York, we had rats, especially in Jersey. Well, no, and the place by Lincoln Center. I mean, they were mice. These 3 that we caught were mice, but when we were catching like 8, they were rats for sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do mice and rats live, cohesively together?
I don't know, because it's like a round of rats and then a round of mice, so I don't know.
My knowledge of rats and mice and the way they live all come from your stories and The Secret of NIMH, the movie.
And Disney.
I don't know.
what's interesting is I just
What's
assume
real?
that mice are little rats and that they grow up to be rats, but that's probably not true.
Oh, I think they're different species. Yeah.
You would think I would be an expert in this by now.
Yeah, I mean, you've had them for long enough.
Yeah.
That's sad. Anyway, hopefully you get that fixed. But I hope your rat problem is fixed and my roof is fixed.
Yeah. And
all we have to do is pray.
Have faith.
Have faith.
I have faith that there will be no more rats. Although I have seen videos of them since being up there yesterday.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I have cameras up there. I just need to get more. I need to put cameras all on the soffits to see what's happening, where they're getting in and out of. Yeah, so I will tell you this, and to carry on the story of complaining about things. Every time that I ask, because I put the transcript of this podcast into AI and say, give me a description of it. Do you know, like, the whole point of the show is that we do a review of something. It's why we do it, right? We review something. It never puts the review in there. And last week when I was getting the description ready, it said, "Oh, and here's their quirky review." It likes words like quirky and chaos and bullshit like that. But it was of the show we did the week before, and I was like, "Where did you get this?" It's never. So I know if you're listening, ChatGPT, I'm telling you to put this conversation in the description that's about to happen. I just feel like I need to tell it that.
ChatGPT seems to be in the same category as Terminex. I don't think you should continue this relationship.
I even pay for it. I pay for Chat. Like, I pay to be lied to.
It's a shame. I just use my Google for free, which my Google Home has been updated, and now it's voice. It used to be like a peppy. They tried to make it human sounding. Now it's just straight up from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
You're getting ready to take over.
I'm like, can you turn on the lights? And he's like, I can't do that, Jeremy. I was like, the fuck you can't? It's the one thing I have you for. Turn my lights on and off.
I'm afraid to, Jeremy. The water tit in your ceiling might cause a fire.
Infuriating.
So anyway, we watched the show. Now, this is going to be a hard conversation for you because I watched the show like 2 weeks ago. And I tried to like recap it, to like get remind myself of moments that were shocking to me. But I think we had talked about how last week that we're doing that for this week because I was surprised that it was as queer as it is.
Yeah. I know that because it came out in 2004. I'm sorry, 24. And it was like everybody was talking about this show. Now, this was a time period when I did not have Netflix because I went through these periods where I couldn't afford to pay for all the streaming services. So I would pick and choose. And I'd be like, oh, I'll come back to that one when, you have 3 or 4 shows that I want to watch. And I never got back to Netflix until recently. But apparently, I was reading this, Baby Reindeer was the most Googled TV show in 2024. So it was quite popular.
Yes.
And I had heard rumors about it being queer. Actually, I think somebody there at Watermark had watched the show and had mentioned to me that it was gay. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll have to check that out. But I didn't have Netflix, so I never checked it out. So Baby Reindeer is a miniseries that was on Netflix in 2024 based on a Fringe show from comedian, we'll call him comedian, even though he gave stand-up up, Richard Gadd.
He must be like the writer of The Bear. He's like the writer of The Bear because he categorizes things as a comedy when,
Although in the show, like the comedy bits that don't land with anybody else were cracking me up.
I laughed a lot at those. Also, I found it very weird that he wore the same suit and everything, but I'm sure that was
that was probably for the show, I would think, unless he only had the one suit. So before we get started, so the brief synopsis is this is based on a Fringe show that he did about him trying to kick off his stand-up comedy career whilst being stalked by this woman named Martha.
Yes.
Now, before we talk about the show, I'm going to say allegedly a lot in this because this lady out here suing people and I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking about is the show. So when we say the show depicted something, we're not saying that this woman who has been exposed as being Martha, we're not saying
she exposed herself.
Yeah, we're not saying that she did these things. We're just saying in the show this is what the show said happened.
Yeah. So when the show came out, she did an interview with Piers Morgan. Have you gone and watched that interview?
I did. It's
allegedly
something.
She's crazy.
Yeah, it's something. It is.
So
something.
she filed a lawsuit, $170 million lawsuit against Netflix. In the beginning, she said, "I'm suing Netflix and I'm suing Richard Gadd." All the information you can find, she's not suing Richard Gadd directly, just Netflix. So I think she's still in love. But yeah, so the big crux of it is in the Fringe show, he starts it off by saying this is based on a true story. At the beginning of the Netflix show, all it says is this is a true story.
Yeah.
And that little based
Mistake
off of
number one.
The judge was like, yeah, this can move forward. So it's still ongoing litigation.
She's gonna win.
Yeah.
I mean, it if that's her, it says this is a true story.
Yeah.
There are many aspects of this show that are not true, but there are a lot that are, and it is crazy. Like they use actual text messages in the show. So these are the real text messages that he received. And I mean,
okay, first thing I want to point out, because this I thought was crazy, allegedly crazy. So the text messages, like when you send, because he didn't give her his phone number. So she's emails, but she's emailing from her phone. So when you email from like your iPhone, it says at the bottom, this has been sent by an iPhone or something like that, sent from iPhone. Apparently, allegedly, she didn't have an iPhone, and she just wrote in at the end of her emails, sent from an iPhone, even though she was sending them from the laptop. Allegedly, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, I didn't go so far as to Google this person and like the other cases that were brought up. I will say that I thought that this was intense and crazy, right? And I was riveted watching the whole thing. And but I was very disappointed in researching like what was true and what wasn't. That any of it was not true. It's like, why would you say this is a true story and then make it not true? So that bothered me a little.
Yeah. Allegedly. I don't know what is true anymore, so
yeah. Well, I've got a couple of, I mean, I could, well, let's just say, do you want to rate it? Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes. For the show, just in the context of the show, I will give it 4.5 grapes. Yeah. I watched it back to back to back. Now, the nice thing is they're short episodes. Most of them are around 30 minutes. And I'm sure it's the actress and not the situation or the actual woman, but I find myself falling in love with this lady. I loved her in this.
It is such an interesting character, like the way that they portray this person. Jessica Gunning played. Jessica Gunning was in the movie Pride, right? The thing about the union, like the
British movie,
the British movie. And she's just so great in it.
She cleaned up an award season. She won every award she was up. She won, and she deserved it. She was amazing in this.
Yeah, but you do start to feel. I mean, you feel sorry for the character, even though these terrible things are happening, and a lot of times you catch yourself thinking like, this guy is bringing this on. Like in the first like 3 episodes, you're like, what are you doing? Just end it. Like what? But then they have that episode about his past trauma, which then you start to see, okay, he's got some trauma damage that he's trying to work through, and this is feeding into that, and it's all a big mess. It was all quite a crazy, messy thing. But even down to like the last minute of the show, it is creating a space of sympathy for Martha.
Yeah. And even aspects, I know it says in the beginning this is a true story, and that she's like, I'm not a stalker, and then the storyline is she stalked him. That's kind of the through storyline. But there are a lot of points in this show where like when he follows her to her apartment to see where she lives.
Yeah.
There are parts in this where I can see, okay, dude, you're coming across a little codependent with her.
Right.
And you're stalking her a bit. And you should probably look at yourself in the mirror and think about that stuff a little bit while you're dragging her for 6-7 episodes. But you're also a pretty good actor because you did fantastic in this also. He won a bunch of awards too.
Yeah, he was really good too. But
Towards
it's his
the
story.
tail, yeah. Towards the tail end of award season, The Penguin came out with Colin Farrell. So Colin Farrell started winning all the awards towards the end. But in the beginning, he was winning a bunch of awards, and it won Best Miniseries and all that. So highly decorated. I know that the critics loved it. So right off the bat, I'm going to say it probably is like a 99/100 from critics. And audiences, I don't know. I feel like audience like this. So I'm going to say audiences are probably 90. We'll go 90.
It was 99 critics. There was one bad review. I couldn't pull
from
it out.
Martha.
Yes. Did you watch it?
This is all lies sent from my iPhone.
It's so ridiculous. If you watch the Piers Morgan interview, she's like, first of all, Piers Morgan says, I mean, if you look at it, she looks a lot like you. And the woman got offended and said she's ugly. You know, like she's
not ugly.
No, she didn't say she didn't say those words. I feel like I have to be very careful about what we say because she's gonna listen to this when ChatGPT puts Baby Reindeer in the description. So we're gonna have to say like she said, well, that's not a compliment or something to that effect. And then she's like, she's not even Scottish, and like, dude, that is a spot on impersonation of her. Like it is on. Like anyway, so 99 for critics, 80 for audiences.
Really?
Yeah, and it may be, I think that a lot of the criticism, because I would be like, if you go at the context of like, this is like what happens in here, if it didn't have that sentence at the beginning, that this is a true story, and you just watch this, you would think this is a crazy thriller that's amazing, and it's got all kinds of trauma in it that makes it really interesting and intriguing, and all of this like turmoil of like how the human experience is. It's really great, and I would have been like 4.5, 5 stars. But because of that, it just like, why would you do that? Why would you say it's a true story and it's not? And what is allegedly true about it, I guess I'll say, is the amount of text messages and emails and phone calls. I mean, it's hours and hours of voice messages. It's like 40,000 emails and text messages over the course of like 3 years or something. It's insane, the amount that happened. And I feel like that part of it was true. I haven't really looked much into that, but I feel like that part of it is true. But here are the things that aren't. I don't know if you're aware of the things that aren't.
I've heard a couple of them. Yeah.
But she didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
The alleged stalker or there was never a trial. She never confessed and never went to jail. The scene in the canal when she sexually assaults him, that never happened.
Oh.
Which is it's a pretty key moment, I think, in the storyline. And then he didn't have a breakdown. He wasn't doing a comedy show and had a breakdown and told everybody about those things. It was a friend show. It was a scripted show where he's like, I'm going to tell my story and this is how I'm going to do it. So I thought, I mean, not that I'm disappointed that he wasn't sexually assaulted. I mean, I just think I'm wondering if the story was compelling enough. Like, why did we have to add these things in there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. I know that I looked after the show for the YouTube video because in the show, he's like, oh, this YouTube video went viral and I turned it into a Fringe show, and I could not find the YouTube video. So I was like, maybe that's not true. I do know that he took the show around to Edinburgh and then played in London for a while. Yeah, I mean, taking the whole thing into context with that, she definitely has a case. Taking just the show into account, it was a very entertaining show.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that she was collateral damage in it, but I hope she gets a payday from it if it's found that he made a bunch of shit up. But it is a very compelling show. And I'm sure whatever payout, because I'm sure they'll settle before this goes to trial, whatever Netflix pays her, I'm sure they made a shit ton more with this show. If it's the most Googled show.
Yeah.
And I read an article where when this came out, they saw an increase in oh geez, why can't I think of the word? When you sign up, subscription. They saw an increase in subscriptions because of this show.
Wow. Yeah.
So whatever money they made, I'm sure that whatever they're paying her will be well worth it.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I don't know. I would love to interview him, and just find out what's going on with you in this relationship with this person.
Yeah.
And like, how does he feel knowing, like, if Netflix settles and pays her all this money, then you're responsible. Not responsible. That's the wrong word. But you doing this show led to your stalker getting paid a ton of money. And if she is this kind of person, is that endangering others? You know what I mean? Like, because and according to the show, she had done this before, and it's not. I doubt that it's like this kind of a person like this would stop after a couple stalking incidents.
Yeah, but also we just had 3.5 million pages of the Epstein files released with a bunch of monsters in that, and they're all rich and they're going to get away with it. So we live in a world where that fucking shit don't matter.
Isn't that crazy?
Fucking
why
crazy.
don't people care? Like, why is it like it doesn't matter who it is? Just fix it. Don't let it happen.
So really quick, because I was interested in what they were doing after this, the two main actors. So Ron Gad, allegedly, his name is Richard Gad. Richard Gad is working on a show called Half Man that comes out this year with Jamie Bell.
Oh.
You know who Jamie Bell is? They're doing a TV show, and it'll be on HBO and
is
the
that
BBC.
The Everybody's Talking About Jamie show?
No, Jamie Bell was it was Billy Elliot in the Billy Elliot movie, and then he's done a bunch of movies. He was in Belfast.
He was in what was that? Like Looper? No, Jumper. That Jumper movie with Hayden Christensen.
Oh yeah, I think he was in that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he did that Revolutionary War show on TNT or something like that. USA.
Yeah. And then
Turn.
What is her? Jessica Gunning is in the next Steven Soderbergh movie with Ian McKellen. Called The Christophers. So looking forward to that. It's got Ian McKellen, Jessica Gunning, Michelle Cole, James Corden. I know that he's kind of,
good for him. Good for him getting some work.
He's bad luck lately. People, for some reason, allegedly, people won't watch whatever he's in. But he's in this. So both of them got some interesting projects coming up that may have some gay themes to them. So maybe some future stuff we'll watch. But yeah, he the shit that just kept piling up on him in the show was just, and if you look at it, all in the pursuit of fame. It all was because he wanted to be this famous stand-up comedian. Why he let it go on with her for so long? Because the show itself shows he egged it on in the beginning. Like, he loved the attention.
Yeah, there were definitely moments where, like, it's sort of that little thing happens and like, oh, this kind of crossed the line, and then when you look at it in its totality, it's crazy, but it was just sort of incremental.
Yeah,
but he's
the
also
whole hanging your curtains things. Like, I'll come to your apartment and hang your curtains. It's like, dude, no, what are you doing?
I know.
Don't say that.
But then also, like, the guy sending that message, like his coworker,
first
or boss,
of all,
like, was terrible.
If those are your coworkers, get another job.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get another job at another bar.
As a bartender, I would think you could find another job. And then you don't see her, and it's just all kinds of weird. Like, but I don't think we've mentioned this, but he was sexually assaulted. It's sort of like he was this young, like, naive, like, I'm gonna be this famous writer, and this guy who he idolized took him under his wing, but really the guy just wanted to get him drugged and have sex with him.
Yeah.
And that really,
and he raped him.
It took him from like this, outgoing, I'm strong and I'm going to be this great performer, to really meek and reserved and struggling on stage. And so that's why when this person entered his life that looked at him the way he wanted to be looked at, that it was hard for him to turn away from that.
Yeah.
So I get that.
It's I mean, I didn't research it that much after the show as far as that aspect of it. So I'm assuming that the sexual assault actually happened.
Yeah,
but I didn't look too deep into that. So
yeah, I think that like internet sleuths were actually accusing friends of his of being that person, and he's like,
Oh,
no,
really?
no. He's like, so he put out a statement like days after Baby Reindeer was released, saying, please don't try to figure out who these people are. My friends are getting harassed. Leave them alone, sort of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all crazy. It's a crazy story. I highly recommend watching it just for the
absolutely.
crazy aspect of it.
Absolutely.
And as a show, it's very well put together and it's very entertaining.
Very well acted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it has Nava Mao, who's a trans actress. She plays a big role in this series.
Plays Terry. Also got an Emmy nomination.
Yeah, and they're great in it. So it's definitely something that you should check out. It is hard to put down. It's one of those that's like you just want to see what happens next.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a nice, easy, quick watch. It's 7 episodes. I think the longest episode is 44 minutes, but most of them hover around the 30-minute mark. So I watched it in one evening and had time to watch another movie. I watched Nuremberg.
Oh, is it good?
It was the story of like what it's based on is fascinating. I gotta say, the more I see Rami Malek in something, the more I think he may not be a good actor.
Oh, really?
And I know he's got Emmys and I know he's got an Oscar, but every time I see him in something new, I was like, I think you just had 2 good roles in you, and that was it.
What's funny is I feel that way about Leonardo DiCaprio. I think,
really?
I think like What's Eating Gilbert Grape was brilliant, and I liked him in Romeo and Juliet. But in this latest one, like when he was yelling at somebody about something in the latest movie, I immediately my brain went to him crying and yelling about Juliet and Romeo and Juliet, and yelling at Rose for getting back on the boat, and I was just kind of like, oh.
He's reached that status where it's now Leonardo DiCaprio in the role.
Right.
It's not an actor. Now, I will say, did you ever see Django Unchained?
No.
Oh, he only has a small part in that, but he plays a racist plantation owner, and he disappears in that role. Like 2 minutes in, you forget that's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, wow.
And he should have been nominated for an Oscar for that one. But yeah, other than that, everything, it's always Leonardo DiCaprio in this role. It's not like you disappear into these
It's
like
roles. Brad Pitt too, right? I
Brad
feel like
Pitt's that way.
It's hard to
Tom Cruise. It's always Tom Cruise playing Tom Cruise. Yeah. There's a lot. Ryan Reynolds is that way. It's always Ryan Reynolds playing the same character. Yeah. But you know what? They pay them millions of dollars because of that. Make your money.
Do you know what I would pay to watch? Ryan Reynolds as Kool-Aid.
The Kool-Aid Man?
Yeah, remember the studio. The whole point of the studio is they're making this movie called Kool-Aid.
Oh, yes.
And so if the Kool-Aid Man was snarky like everything that Ryan Reynolds plays, then except Free Guy, that he wasn't really snarky, but he was kind of funny.
No, but he was still kind of that. Yeah. He was still Ryan Reynolds.
Free Guy was actually surprisingly good, I thought.
Free Guy, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I liked Free Guy. And it's got Steve from Stranger Things in it. I love him.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah. I do love him.
Yeah.
He should be in more stuff.
He should be. He's I think he's focusing more on his music now. He's got a band.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to have adult friends instead of
He's like, I'm tired hanging with these kids. So watch Baby Reindeer.
Yes.
Don't use Terminex. Don't use.
Oh, I want to say this real quick
because I got enough of your falling race or your.
I did get an update,
roof.
So I will say I'll save my hatred of this company until next week. But I did get like their plan is they're going to come like every week and whatever that is, bait the traps every week. Sure.
All right.
We'll see what happens. It's an ongoing saga. Listen, this thing has been going on for years. Pre-COVID. So whatever. But hey, guess what?
What?
Guess what comes out on Friday?
Pillion.
Yeah.
Are you getting it?
Am I getting it?
It's a limited release on Friday.
Oh, what?
I think it's just New York and LA, so you may have to fly up here to see it.
I mean, I can make that happen. Although it's too cold up there.
They got heaters.
Let's see what we got.
From what I hear, it's cold down there.
I guess everybody doesn't need to wait for me.
Yeah.
For this.
So we'll look into that. Hopefully, Pillion will be what we talk about next week because I saw another clip from it this morning. I was like, God, I want to see this movie. But we'll be back next week with something.
Yeah.
And until then, the cork is back in the bottle.